Welcome to another episode of DEGN Talk. Today I have a very special guest, Joanna from Soon. Joanna, very nice to have you here.
Hey, how's it going, Jack? Nice to
Nice,
see you.
nice to meet you. Yeah, tell us about yourself and tell us about Soon.
Yeah, for sure. So I am the co-founder and CEO of Soon. Soon stands for Solana Optimist Network. We're a roll-up stack that build on top of Solana execution environment and bring that to every ecosystem, starting with Ethereum, where it needs the most user adoption saving, I guess. And then we're currently doing multiple settlement. So also the new base layer becomes live just as of last Friday. That's the BNB chain, SVM version on top of BNB. And we're also extending to Bitcoin and other ecosystem.
Wow, exciting. Before we dive deep into Soon, I would love to know about your journey and
Yeah,
how you've came and developed Soon.
right. It's definitely a bit of a winding journey. So myself, I was a currency trader for many years, a decade actually, prior to coming into crypto. Yeah, so I think maybe the journey started when I was still working at Citibank, and remembering this moment when my the economist on the team kind of introduced this new currency, right? As a currency trader, right, I was very much kind of hedging my career risk with this potential threat to my career. Bitcoin was the only cryptocurrency at the time. It was back in 2012, 2013. And I did what a good currency trader would do, which is hedging my risk with some personal investment in Bitcoin. Of course, I kind of invested in the wrong exchange at the time. I was actually putting all the money into Mongol, which went bankrupt the next
No,
year. Yeah,
no
I think
way.
everyone has a problem, has a story of, being robbed
I
once or
was gonna
twice
say,
before.
tell me you're rich without telling me you're rich. And then you said Mount Gox.
Exactly. So I pretty much just kind of sidelined this entire thinking of like thinking about maybe this just a fad, right? That
Yeah, that must be
goes
your
away.
first major setback. It's like,
Exactly.
so your stuff can be stolen. That's interesting.
Exactly. So then I think not until 2017, fast forward, I was then very interested in looking at crypto as a major technical vehicle, not just an investment vehicle. When everything was, this was the bear market, right? 2017. I guess just coming to the end of it, as all these what do you call it, like the ICOs starting to play off. I was very attracted to this smart contract capability, right? Programmable smart contract coming into blockchain, so it's no longer just a P2P payment network. That got me really interested in becoming more knowledgeable about the technical promise. And basically, I took a coding lesson here in New York and started this crypto developer community called Crypto NYC. And that was the beginning of the end, right? So I started kind of fully diving into this rabbit hole of this white paper reading group, and that got me into my first crypto job with Coinbase as first on the listing team, and then later on moved over to launch the NFT marketplace. And after that, I only worked in the infra space, first as a BD person on the Optimism team, and second I was working on the Alio team, another ZKL1, and basically took two projects into TGE time. So really just been building ecosystem, and really fell in love with that job. And yeah, and then I can tell you
Yeah.
about soon.
No, I think potent mix of traditional finance and learning how to code and start solving problems in Web3
Hmm.
and to see how we can improve mass adoption of Web3 technology, right? I
Correct.
bet when you were trading currency, the liquidity in crypto must be so little that you're just like, what the
Yes.
hell is this, right? Because like your daily trading volume is probably more than the whole market cap at that point, like back in the day, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that yeah, that must be some revelation. I'm gonna dive deep into soon, right? So yeah, tell us about the technical innovations of Soon's architectural design.
Sure. Yeah. So as a layer two, we're a ETH layer two. Just to be very clear, this is something that I see people usually confuse us for a Solana L2, but we're actually a Ethereum L2 using SVM as the underlying tech stack. So yeah, effectively, we're very much about scaling Ethereum and making sure that the TPS, the latency has been greatly improved from the existing ETH L2 land. So what we did was two things. One is called the decouple SVM, right? So as L2, we don't need to copy and paste the existing client side of the Solana mainnet, which has a lot of their voting threads, their consensus there, basically blocking the existing mainnet, right? So what we did is we decoupled those voting threads from the user execution threads. So in that process, we not only increased the TPS dramatically, but also introduced a more lightweight tech stack where we added the ZK fraud proof on the back end. That's something that truly increased the security of the network. And the second thing is what we call the horizontal scaling solution. So as we know, some of the other high TPS performance chains are using more of a vertical scaling solution. Even Solana itself, right, is a single giant global state machine. So, based on this vertical scaling model. But what we did is we further modularized the TPU, the transaction processing unit, by spreading the workload across multiple machines. And in that process, we not only increase the TPS further, but also increase the reliability of the network because you can rotate these workload right across different machines. This is something that we work really closely with the Solana's dev shop called Anza on. And one other innovation I didn't even get to mention is also introducing Merkleization into the SVM engine, Solana virtual machine, because Solana, as we know, don't have much we call Merkle tree or Merkle Patricia tree. So this is a concept that is unique to Ethereum. But as we design a real rollup on top of Ethereum and making sure all the transactions are actually derived into the L1 layer 1 pipeline, this Merkleization was needed. But usually in adding the Merkleization, kind of sacrifices performance, but we found a way to kind of coincide the speed of adding MPT into the design, architectural design, along with the speed of the upgrade of the batcher, right, within the SVM to make sure that it basically in the short phrase, like it doesn't it impact the overall performance because we were able to do it like every 12 minutes as opposed to every single slot. So yeah, all of this is to say like we kind of took a lot of modifications and making sure that we were building this roll up in a secure and fast and low latency way.
Yeah, I can tell because coming from someone who is one of the founders, you have intricate knowledge of exactly what the improvements are, the different changes that you've done. And that means everything you've done so far, it comes from passion, right? You understand everything fully, and which is amazing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So with that knowledge in hand, how does Soon compare to other multitude of VMs out there?
Yeah, I'm really glad that you recognize that. I think we sort of did a lot of things in the unconventional way, right? And frankly, in a very hard way, but the right way. So something that
I mean,
I'm
we're in
fully
Web3, right? I mean, in Web3, people just do shit. We just do shit, right? So
like,
we
yeah, a
do
lot of
stuff to solve
copycats.
an issue. Simple as that.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So not naming names, but there's a lot of SVM or other even LVM projects, right, that just simply became a side chain. And you can look at like Altitude Beat, right? You probably can figure out who these people are, but
A
the
list.
fact that they just kind of like copy the client side of Solana mainnet or another major L1, make them just it's essentially the trust assumption was just relying on the multi-sig bridge that can be easily ruggable, right? So I think that, as we all know, right, from recent experience, like 1.2
Yes.
billion was like rugged within just like last 60 days. So it's really important when it comes to building the real roll up on top of Ethereum, right? Actually benefiting from the security of the one chain, right? That's why we're building this, is to put the best of the two worlds. On the Solana side, we got the high performance and the builder culture. And then on the Ethereum side, you got the actual security assumption, right? That I think many people argue is still the best trust assumption out there. What on top of that, I think for us, it's truly important to be able to build this security model that can be further standardized across different chain operators, right? As a stack provider, so we're not just a single L2 like some of the other LVMs, as you mentioned, or just simply building a standard purpose chain. But we're actually a stack provider. So think of us as OP stack for SVM. Right? So it becomes even more important. We have a higher bar to pass when you're introducing the stack to folks who want to use it to build their own app-specific chains, or in the SVM BNB case, right? BNB wants to build this additional L2 to attract a different type of ecosystem user. And it's a whole new standard, right? When you are becoming the gold standard, so to speak, for
Yeah,
others
no, I
to
think
use.
definitely you guys are able to bring in something that's very generic, but add your own kind of innovation on top of it. That's what's important, to kind of separate yourself with plethora of other forks out there, right? I would say.
Exactly.
So some new stuff, right? SVM BNB. What is that? And what is Soon
Yeah.
really doing in this season of memes and AI?
Yeah. This has definitely been the recent focus for us. I'm glad that, as it seems like a lot of folks are talking about us.
Yeah, seems very exciting.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see the true, the we're talking about in this very weird Web3 world of tribalism, right? The EVM folks and the SVM folks are just very much at odds at all times. You see kind of constant like Twitter wars between
We have
these
different
two camps.
factions
And
that
then
really
different
stand
factions even.
by their own
Exactly.
kind of,
Yeah.
there's like
That is so funny you
BTC,
said
right?
that.
The OG people, and then you
Right.
have the ETH maxi, you, and then you have the
Right.
Solana maxi, and they're
Well,
just
I don't
like,
think I'm a maxi anymore. I kind of have to walk different under different circumstances to like be able to bring people together, and that's kind of my point right here is to say like essentially by providing this multi VM approach to BNB, we're truly bringing the Solana builders over to the BNB ecosystem. And that's something that I think, if you think about like how to actually start this cultural movement, right? As we all know that crypto is not just a fragmentation of liquidity, right? In the crypto world, we see fragmentation of geography, of culture, of demographics, right? Just having like folks in APAC talking about BNB is a completely kind of you know this, right? You're part of the APAC region, but like it's not going to get the same kind of reaction from folks that live in the Western world, because that retail audience, right, is mostly in APAC. So I think be able to
APEC
really
people
break down.
only worry about money, right? Only worry about serious. They
Well,
only worry about what's gonna 10x, what's gonna 100x, right? They don't care about any technical
yeah.
innovations. They don't care any of that.
Yeah, but like I think
Token price
everyone
is the only
in
metric they
crypto
listen.
is like that too, right? I mean, I think it's like less of a, who cares about making money. It's more about just, we all have our own natural habitat that like it's hard to break out of this shells, right? To kind of access the other parts of the world. So by really introducing the distribution of BNB to, Solana builders, as a Solana builder, you can just be developing once and deploy everywhere, right? That's kind of been my main pitch to these Solana builders. And then on the other hand, like the BNB folks can finally access their favorite Solana app onto by using still the same ecosystem liquidity that use the similar like user base, but accessing these higher quality developers and higher quality dApps, right? The user experience, that's what really matters at the end of the day. So how does it all come back to meme season, AI season, right? So I think as we've seen from CZ and He Yi's Twitter, right, these days, like there's a lot of motivation to help out like BNB ecosystem projects. Yeah, essentially to found their own kind of create wealth creation effect. I think the the overall sentiment is there to continue to help these ecosystem projects. On our end, we are basically acting as a conduit to bring or bridge this, as mentioned, like the cultural gap, right? The actual community from the Western world, from the Solana ecosystem to these ecosystem that has really high distribution channel. So yeah, that's been really exciting. We have a lot of folks that live in the Western world to become like the new meme cabals to launch their own memes or AI agent. To try out this new ecosystem.
Yeah, it's definitely good that you guys are kind of latching onto this trend, right? And Binance really kind of pushing this narrative as well through their Binance wallet. When do you last time see Hui's Twitter this kind of active? Right? She's replying to like everybody,
Exactly.
right? Even though I'm pretty sure there's an intern behind it, um, but still,
We're
it's there,
AI.
right? It's there. It proves that it's something that it's they're taking it very seriously. And if you with you guys offering this level of kind of interoperability and kind of bridging across multiple different chains and stuff, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. What which major projects are building on Soon right now, and what kind of use cases that excites you the most?
Yeah, for sure. So currently we have about, first of all, I should mention, we actually have a live mainnet, right? So this is something also separate us
I
from
mean, people
some of
launching
the,
tokens now without even having the mainnet, which is
I
crazy, by the way.
know,
Which is
I
crazy to
know.
me,
I should
right?
start with that, right?
I don't
Like
know.
I
I don't
feel
know
like
about you, but it's crazy to me. I'm not going to say who, but just saying.
just saying, yeah, exactly. We actually have real product that developers can truly benefit from day one. So we launched our mainnet back in January, right? So it's been 2 months time, and we have about 40 applications currently live on the Soon mainnet. Just to clarify, right? So Soon mainnet is the SVM rollup on top of Ethereum as a base layer, and as mentioned earlier, the second mainnet that we helped launch was the BNB. So SVM roll up on top of BNB layer using BNB as a gas token. So both mainnet have been attracting a lot of application builders. So I think about maybe half of them are soon native. So we did quite a bit of incubation and just having a lot of just like doing all this hacker houses around the world. And I think I traveled last year like to, mainly the emerging markets, places like India, like Southeast Asia, Turkey, UAE. These are all regions that we're super bullish on, well, as well as US. So I think the main kind of attraction so far come from consumer and AI use cases. That mainly because we do provide, again, not just in theory, but actually in practice, a really high TPS, right? So in our Zoom mainnet right now, the TPS number is K benchmark TPS, as opposed to
That's
some of
high.
the other ETH L2s out there is about 2 to 3K, let's say. And then on top of that, I think one thing that kind of really help us further this performance metric is the latency part, right? So on the block time, we reduce it down to 50 milliseconds from the Solana 400 milliseconds. So that's another thing that truly can unlock these new use cases, like a streaming application or a AI inference model being built on chain, right? So some of the maybe like more specific examples are what I call like consumer DePIN. Right? This is a new category that really interesting to use these everyday device. So not your typical grass type of like hardware GPU type of DePIN projects, but using something like I don't have it in front of me right now, but I actually have this prototype with me. One of my projects called AirNext, they have these decentralized Wi-Fi router. So it's a portable, VPN Wi-Fi router that you can just trust your personal data with. But because it actually connects on chain, like very much in real time, taking advantage of our 50 milliseconds block time, they build this DeFi features into it. So they have launched their own token, right, where people can claim their tokens and stake them without the fear of being slashed, because the token is being staked like in real time. So that's really interesting, right? Like it's became one of our most popular applications on the Zoom mainnet. Just kind of like 3,000 to 5,000 transactions every day. where people using the application to claim and stake tokens. So all of these innovation, I think is really interesting, right? To see these, I call like microtransactions, high frequency, high transaction volume, but perhaps low notional type of transactions are being facilitated by our tech stack.
Yeah, when you use decentralization, you sacrifice speed, right? That's the unfortunate reality of it. Able to kind of bring that speed back in, that needs a lot of innovation and a lot of tech to make that happen. And I think Soon is doing that. So congratulations on that. Amazing stuff.
Thank you.
So what is the this thing called coming soon NFT, right? So the Mint has helped bootstrap the ecosystem. How important do you think is the community-driven growth sector for Soon?
Yeah. So remember what I said earlier about we kind of like to do things in the hard way, but the right way. So we did that also with our fundraising. I think it's very unconventional to try to come up with a new playbook when it comes to fundraising. We essentially pledged 51% of this token supply to the community, and obviously not everything was like distributed in one time, but a big part of that went into this NFT mint event that was permissionless, so it allows anybody to wants to participate. And in the process, we really kind of build this new platform that tiered up the valuations of the tokens. So we use the NFT as a way to claim tokens, when TGE comes, right? So we had the three tiers, which effectively are like the VC tier that has lowest valuation but the longest lockup, which is usually the standard terms, and then the middle tier, and then the retail tier, right? That effectively matches with those expectation, right? Like lower lockup, but higher valuation. On top of that, we also introduced this concept, essentially like an airdrop baked into the mint. So the purchase price can be discounted based on a couple of things. One is the Kaido score. Right? So we're one of the first projects. I think we are still the only project that integrated with Kaido API in our token claim process. So
Nice. They
anyone
were
that had
really
been
big.
yapping.
They were really big. Yeah,
Exactly.
Kaido. Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
was on that
yeah.
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, this was back in January before
Yeah,
they
it's like
even
not
had
long
their
ago, a couple weeks
token,
ago.
yeah,
Yeah,
launched
yeah.
yet. Exactly. So, yeah, basically to reward folks that have been yapping about us and have greater social impact to get that greater discount. And then the second part is obviously people who have been like referring us to other folks. And also the third is to reward folks that have been participating in the ecosystem by trying out being like the alpha beta users of our applications, participating in the Quest campaign. Yeah, so all of this is to make sure like once you add up all the discount, it's a really major discount, like more than 50% of discount that lower the purchase price, but still have kind of enough like skin in the game for folks to care, right? So yeah, so I think this new kind of playbook is effectively bringing like the ICO style back without the regulatory pressure, right? Because we're not actually selling like tokens, but it's a community round that allows a lot of our community members, actually effectively 5,000 participants went into this NFT mint. And one thing that's really cool about it is I didn't realize at the time, but these became like our super fans, and these are the Degen players that are really value aligned with us. So they continue to participate in all the incentive campaigns that we launched afterwards. When I go out and speak to a developer, that's the first thing that I say. You already have 5,000 application users, right, to behind this, right, to help you go to market, to help you start the user journey, right, to give you feedback on the product. So I think that's what, like, as a chain, that's the best thing you can provide to a builder. So
Yeah, no,
having that existing user base.
it shows Soon really do care about their community, right? The devs, the
100%.
users, and everything. So it comes natural. I need to ask you this then. Any alphas, any upcoming events or rewards or airdrops, whatever, right?
Right.
For your users and developers alike.
Yeah. I think we just, so not so much of alpha, but we did just reveal the NFT opening or claiming process. So now you can actually see what the NFT looks like. There's going to be guidelines introduced on how to convert the NFTs into tokens soon. The other alpha I would say is related to our incentive campaign, right? So as mentioned, that we are very much advocating for the SVM BNB chain. So we wanted to, actually it's a two-tier process, but effectively we want to start incentivizing the TVL and overall basically user volume on both chains, on both the mainnet, Soon mainnet, and the SVM BNB. So yeah, look out for some news coming out in the early next month or middle of the next month as regards to getting some deposits in for points. And one thing I guess I can reveal right now is we work really closely with Degen as one of our biggest strategic strategic partners, because we use Eigen DA as our DA provider for the Soon mainnet. So we will be doing a large Eigen airdrop to
Ooh.
folks that, and obviously liquid, right? It's ready trading in the market. So yeah, those will be basically people that participate in the TVL campaign can double dip in both our TVL campaign to earn the Soon token as well as the Eigen token.
Exciting. I'll be linking everything into the tweet, and also any upcoming stuff, we'll be retweeting it as well for full support of Soon.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, so final question for you is what are your tips for builders looking to come and build on Soon, and what kind of support could they expect from Soon?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you asked that question. For us, I think it's really important to just mention the fact that we are a globally distributed team for a reason. We have all these DevRel support spreading around the emerging market. As mentioned, that's like one of our biggest differentiation as well. And I think from the ecosystem side, right, like a new builder coming into a new ecosystem obviously wanted to get not only advisory on the product design, but also help on the DevRel side, right? And then lastly is the co-marketing support, which I think it's something we do really very, very like intimate with our ecosystem partners, having these highlights we call like Soon spotlight sections every Wednesday. I think we do this every week now with our ecosystem projects, and we even help some of the top projects to fundraise, to help them with the VC pitches. Sometimes I go into those pitches myself. Yeah, I think it's very much a end-to-end, right, kind of customer support. I just call myself like the biggest customer support person, or CMO for hire. So yeah, I think as a Soon builder, right, the main thing that you can rely on is having a personalized team that really work with you, and making sure that there's the go-to-market strategy, there's the incentive campaign that benefits the builders, and lastly, as I mentioned before, is this thing like user base that can help bootstrap the ecosystem.
Wow, amazing. Well, devs, you've heard it here. Come build on Soon. Lots of support will be given. I'll be linking Joanna's Twitter as well, so you can DM
That's
her,
fine.
right?
I know every ecosystem builder at this point, so yeah, I
Yeah,
would love
but
to,
still,
yeah,
right?
continue that.
I mean, there's always going to be new builders coming in, right? And what better place to build than Soon, right? So hopefully they'll get to see this and understand that Soon will give them a lot of support in both technical and marketing, right?
Yep, you
Well,
said it better than
Joanna, yeah, Joanna, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. This is going to be, hopefully, this will be one of many episodes, and I'll wish to come and invite you back on again down the line as well. Yeah,
Sounds good, Jack. Yeah, looking forward
cool,
to part
Joanna.
two.
Well, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time.
See you soon.